If you notice that your low back is quite arched and gets tired easily and or you have low back pain, then this video is definitely for you. Because in the video we will show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to fix the notorious anterior pelvic tilt. Hi, my name is Markus and I'm a physical therapist from Finland. Disclaimer, anterior pelvic tilt in itself doesn't necessarily always cause back pain, but during my physical therapy career I have had countless patients with low back pain who have gotten relief just by reprogramming their musculature to get away from anterior pelvic tilt position. Anterior pelvic tilt means that your pelvis twists forward, causing your low back to arch. And this arch isn't the problem, but the inability to reverse this position enough so that the muscles and tissues can relax in your lower back is the problem. We will start with the basic exercise to fix this problem, and then after showing this we will regress to easier versions so you can find the perfect starting point for you. And after this, in the end, we will briefly show you how you can cement this new low back superpower into your everyday life. Also remember to comment below if you want to learn more about the movement control of the pelvis and low back and you want to see similar videos like this one. Let's continue. The causes for this anterior pelvic tilt and coexisting factors, in my humble opinion, probably cause this are really tight, shortened hip flexor muscles, also tight and shortened erector spinae muscles, so the low back muscles, and subsequently weak abs, weak oblique abdominals, and weak and inactive gluteus muscles. Also, lack of movement variations, you haven't trained this, you haven't done it, this sort of twisting your pelvis, so your nervous system forgets how to do it. So these are stuff that affect and cause and coexist with this problem. First, posterior pelvic tilt. This is the opposite movement of the anterior pelvic tilt, the opposite position. To do this movement, you need to use either your abdominal muscles or your glute muscles. The best one is to use both. Stand in a normal stance, put your hands on your hips, Teemu, on your hips, location error. Bend your knees a little and then twist your pelvis, tucking your tailbone between your legs. You can imagine your thumbs moving back and down. Yes, and then you relax. And avoid moving your knees like this while doing it. Keep your knees still and only twist from your pelvis. Also, your upper body shouldn't move like this. Yes. And this is the position. You flatten your low back. People often think that they are doing it correctly, but they are really just fooling themselves. Usually you compensate by crunching your abs like this, or other one of those classic compensations is to move even more into anterior pelvic tilt and push your hips forward. Whilst good for twerking or photos, not so good for back health. Trust me, I'm an expert on influencing. Repeat this movement 1 to 2 minutes and if possible twice a day. Now, just doing this during the workday has helped some of my clients with work-related back pains. So try this definitely out. And if this is impossible, possible, because we are multilingual, try this next version. Posterior pelvic tilt against the wall. The same thing now, but with an easier starting position. Back against the wall, pelvis against the wall, heels 20 to 30 centimeters from the wall To all you United States fans, it's approximately 10 inches, yes, from the wall. In this position, it is easier to notice the compensations, the movements from your upper body, the movements from your knees, and it's also easier to notice when your back hits the wall, completing this movement, and notice the movement from your pelvis, how it slides against the wall. Now let's try to do the posterior pelvic tilt from this position. So try to push your low back against the wall, squeezing all the air out between the wall and your low back. You can imagine that you're tucking your tailbone between your legs, or you can imagine that you are sliding the upper part of your glutes down the wall. And when you've reached this final position, then release the position and continue doing this 1 to 2 minutes and twice a day if possible. After 1 week, try this without the wall. If this was hard, we need to go on the floor. Posterior pelvic tilt on the floor. This is the exercise where most people who have back problems have usually started from. This is the most common place. Now, the movement again is the same, but the setup is different. Lie on the floor, knees bent. Now, try to push your low back against the floor, squeezing the air out between between your low back and the floor. Yeah, not elsewhere. Although you can do it as well. I'm not judging. If it's hard to do this movement, try to imagine lifting your tailbone, coccyx, I don't know how to pronounce it, towards the ceiling and lifting the very lower parts of your glutes into the air, like this. This might be easier. You feel a slight contraction in your abs or in your glutes, and if you feel it in both, then really nice. really nice. Good for you, champ. And then repeat this movement for 1 to 2 minutes, and if possible, I suggest doing this twice a day, so you can really get the synapses in your brain connected and formed to remember and to use this skill. If you feel that even this is too hard, then no worries. We ain't leaving you hanging. There is one more secret tip that we will show you. Feet on the wall tilt. Again, lie on the floor, but now with your feet on the wall or door or whatever. Hips are 90 degrees, knees are 90 degrees, approximately. And then start to push your heels to the wall. This creates a small lift for the lower part of your pelvis and rolls your back against the floor. So you can imagine rolling your pelvis. You push the air away under your back. You can also imagine pulling your pubic bone from the front towards your chest at the same time you do this. And you can imagine lifting the tip of your tailbone, coccyx, sausages to the ceiling, but only the tip. Yeah, so you don't lift the whole pelvis up. That's a no-no. Do this 2 times a day, 1 to 2 minutes if possible. And after a week, let your feet down, then continue to the wall and then without the wall. So you get to the base form, but remember, it's not even the final form. Of course, to cement these new mutant abilities to the harder tasks that you do in your everyday life or to your sports, you need to progress and take this even further. So for example, single leg hip thrusts are an excellent way, and also doing heavy dead bugs to engage your abs in this movement is also a great idea. And if you want us to do videos on these exercises and topics, then let us know in the comment section. Now start working on your posterior pelvic tilt, and we will see you on our next adventures video, because these are super exciting and adventurous. Yay! Ciao!